Welcome to another episode of Relatively Famous, the podcast where I, Chip White, interview relatives of famous people. What gives me the street creds? My sister is Vanna White of Wheel of Fortune. And some of you know, hey, we grew up in the Myrtle Beach area, and we were so lucky when we were growing up. It was just from Little River to Pawleys Island were just these little beach towns. Myrtle Beach was not this bustling metropolis it is these days. Now, man, it's like 60 miles of beach that you can walk, you can surf, look for shells, shark's teeth. Restaurants, there's probably 2,000 restaurants, and we were lucky if there was 3 open in the winter when I was growing up. Now it's year round, 90 world-class golf courses, and I actually played on the North Myrtle Beach junior high school golf team. I was horrible. But when I go back, Van and I love to still play 18 holes of golf. So if you want to have a great vacation, I suggest you go to visitmyrtlebeach.com. That's visitmyrtlebeach.com and plan your next vacation. And speaking of vacations, let's just roll right into this job to me is a vacation. Our guest today is the daughter of a football legend, man. I remember this guy when I was growing up, and what I found out later that he also played lacrosse. That was like a double thing because my son played football and lacrosse. Today we have the daughter of Jim Brown, and let's welcome Kimberly Brown.
Relatively Famous podcast with Chip White.
Kimberly, thanks for being a guest on Relatively Famous, and I'm super excited to have you on.
Well, thanks for having me, Chip.
So everybody, I'm going to assume everybody, because I'm a football fan, knows your dad. What was it, and this is really about, it's going to be more about you, but what's it like standing or living in the shadow of a football legend? I mean, the guy, he had a big presence.
I don't know if I live in the shadow, so I can't really answer that question. I don't know if I live in the shadow, so I'm my own person. I'm working on my own things, creating my own legacy. But I would say that, the question would probably be like, how was it being raised by my father, and, and how am I carrying on the legacy, and especially, having his bloodline.
That's good. How are you doing that then? And what was it like growing up as the daughter of Jim Brown?
Oh, it was amazing. My dad was great. He was in my life. I was just thinking about one of my, I don't, what would I call it? Basically, my spoiling. My dad spoiled me with his time, which is very important, especially in my relationships that I have now. I definitely like to be spoiled with time because my dad spoiled me with time every time that I needed him, or every time I needed to contact him. He was always there for me. And this is before like cell phones, this is before pagers, you know what I mean? So every time I was at my mom's house and I called him, my dad would pick up. Every time I wanted to see my dad was there. So I don't have any complaints about my dad. He was the greatest dad, for sure.
And you were talking about, and we'll get more into this, about your legacy and the things you're doing. What is probably in your memory, the funnest or the most wow moment that happened because of your dad or with your dad? Meeting someone or going somewhere special. What is that? Because your dad was Jim Brown, you got this wow moment. Does that make sense?
Well, there's a lot of wow moments, I guess. There's a lot of wow moments. My dad was a huge partier, so we would always have parties at our house. So he would do like special occasions, like, fireworks for July 4th, for Easter. He would have, like, of course, he wouldn't do this, but other people would come to our house and do this. But he would have like Easter egg hunts, and then they would have like, they would mark like numbers like 25, 50. And then you would go to my dad and, give him all the eggs, and then he would add it up, and then that's how much money he gave you. So that one's like my wow moment, because I remember getting like the special egg that was worth like $50. Um, Other wow moments is going to Vegas with my dad for him to sign autographs, or going to this mall where he had a radio show. And while he was at the radio show, I'd go shopping. And then my dad always took me shopping on Sunset Boulevard as a kid. And my dad would just drop everything and anything for me. That's what that's the wow moment. That's what I love. Like, he just dropped anything and everything for me. And so yeah.
That's great because a lot of dads, especially once they're well known or working, they don't get a lot of time for their kids. So to hear that's
Well, I
phenomenal.
was definitely blessed because I got my dad after football. I got my dad during the movie stage. So he's not filming a movie every single day. He's not working a 9 to 5. So yeah, I was truly, truly blessed to get him after football in his acting career.
Now, what are some of the things that I noticed? I know now that you act. Tell us a little bit about who Kimberly Brown is.
Well, I am Kimberly Brown, and I follow in my dad's footsteps and continue his legacy as well as creating my own legacy. So I'm an actress, just like my dad. I was in the movie One Night in Miami. That was directed by Regina King. That was about my father, Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Muhammad Ali, which is on Amazon Prime. So you can watch that. I also play football. I started with the LFL, the Legends Football League, the Atlanta Steam, and then I went to the LA Temptations um, for the X League. So I play football. I'm also an entrepreneur. I have a women's empowerment group called Daughters of Legends. So it's a whole team of women that come from legends that are changing the world and making an impact. And I have another group called Daughters of Sports. These women come from professional athletes that played sports themselves. And, what else do? I do a lot of charity events, raising money for our veterans and other nonprofit organizations. And I'm also in politics. So, I'm just everything that my dad did.
Okay. Well, let's break
He
some
set
of
the
that.
bar very
Yeah.
high.
Okay. Let's break some of that down. Now, you're an actress and a dancer. You've
No, I'm
got
not a dancer. No,
no.
no, I'm just an
Okay.
actor.
Oh, you were in music videos. That's sorry. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah. My
yeah.
bad. Sometimes my research is not that great, but that's why I like to have a conversation.
Okay,
So,
well, yeah, I haven't danced since I was a kid. So yeah,
okay.
so
So
you're
you
not
act.
far off, but just not now.
Okay.
Maybe when I was a kid, yeah.
Tell me about the uh, daughters. Was it Daughters of Legends? Legends.
Yes, the Daughters of Legends.
Daughters of Legends. Tell me about that because it's a pretty amazing PDF you guys have out. You've got quite a group with you, and the what you guys are trying to do seems extremely generous.
Yeah, so with Daughters of Legends, it's a superhero power group coming to change the world. Each daughter has a cause that she wants to make a difference in. And when we come together, we're stronger together than we are apart. And it's continuing our father's legacies because they're the ones that took stances and progress back then. And so, for example, like my partner is Robin Charles. She's the daughter of Ray Charles. So her father took a stance back in I believe in the 60s, where he refused to place segregated venues. So that's what helped, to revolutionize the world and push integration um, forward. And so my father, he took a stance with Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, Kareem by calling all the top Black athletes in 1967 in Cleveland, Ohio, because Muhammad Ali was refusing his draft to the Vietnam War due to religious reasons, which made a really historical and impact in this country because they took it all the way to the Supreme Court and won. So that's really what Daughters of Legends is really coming together um, to change the world, but also taking it to the next level. Um, and that's why I said that currently in politics, because we definitely, if you're going to change the world, you definitely have to be in politics.
Bless you for being in politics. I mean, it's a crazy world to be in. So, what in politics? Are your goals? Where do you hope to go? Are you going to run for office? I mean, well, fill us
No,
in.
I'm not. Maybe, I was thinking maybe I'll run for office maybe in my 60s when I get old. Not now. I'm not going to spend my young years sitting behind a desk. No, I got better things to do. But, just working with different people in politics to achieve my goals and success, and where I want to change the world. So that's why I'm, currently in politics, and probably, possibly advising some members, um, to help them out, because I don't think that a lot of politicians are super intelligent. So I think that they need some guidance. And I believe that I can do that, just like my father did. My dad was with presidents like Lyndon B. Johnson, Nixon, Clinton, Trump. So my dad has a legacy in politics. He's been behind the scenes, but he's always met with presidents at the White House and also helped advise them, just like my dad helped advise Donald Trump on the First Step Act. Donald Trump called my dad and asked him, "Hey, what do you think about the First Step Act?" And so, my dad was like, "Yeah, that's good." So then that's why, Donald Trump got rid of the three strikes, you're out, uh, for nonviolent criminals. So you're not in prison for the rest of your life just on some marijuana charges. And then also, Trump actually helped my dad funding his American Foundation, which combats gang violence in Black and Brown communities and helps them to be productive citizens by supplying them with life management skills. So, yeah. So that's why I've learned from my dad, you have to be in politics if you're going to make things work, and they're going to help contribute to what you're doing and your causes that are going to impact the world.
What I know you talked a lot about different causes. What is your specific? Do you have one really
I have
passion
three.
project that
I have three.
three? Okay.
I have three. So my first one is I want to help single mothers to either start a business or to fund them to um, for higher education. I was in college. I was a single mother. The only way that I was able to do that was that my dad fully funded my education, which was such a blessing, and I didn't have to work. So most single moms, if they're going to go to college, they're going to have to work as well and take care of their kid and get good grades, and that's just a lot for them. So that's really my passion project. That's been my passion for years since I was in college. So I'm making strides to do that, and my manager, Kim Francis, is going to help me to do that. So that's my first passion project. My second thing is I'm pro choice in vaccines. I'm actually an anti vaxxer. And that stems from my son being a guinea pig when he was a baby. He got 4 shots. He became allergic to my breast milk, and I did my research. I went to the website thinktwice.com. So we're talking about 22 years ago. Thinktwice.com, which, helped educate me on vaccines. And with my daughter, I never vaccinated her. So I don't believe in mandating vaccines. That should be a choice for every person, just like how other people say it's your body, your choice. Well, yeah, it should be our body, our choice, decision on vaccines. And then my third is I want to federally legalize cannabis.
Okay. That's amazing. That is a lot of effort to put in, a lot of energy to put into some amazing good causes. And I wish you luck, man, because I just want to sit here and do my little podcast. And I'm not trying to change the world. I admire the people that want to change things dramatically.
Yeah.
You played football. I don't know why I find it amazing, because your dad was an incredible football player. What was that like, or what is that like to and to be a female playing football?
Oh, I loved it. I actually started from the bottom. I didn't know anything about football. I'm still learning as an athlete, as a football player. I'm still learning the game, still, becoming better. But yeah, when I first started, I was at the bottom. I didn't know anything about football, and people were shocked that I didn't. And I'm like, well, it's not like me and my dad are sitting there watching football. It's not like me and my dad are out there playing football. You know what I mean? Once my dad retired, he retired. He was done with football. So, my first love was basketball. So my dad taught me basketball. We did a little bit of lacrosse because my dad always had the love of lacrosse. And then, but yeah, I got into football to continue my father's legacy and for him to see me play, which he never did, but he did come to a game of mine, which was awesome. But yeah, I love the game of football. I really, it's challenging. It's a team sport, so you have to rely on everybody, and you have to do your job, which I love. So, you know, um, I'm a DN, and I've been training for the last couple of years for running back. To really continue the legacy and be in the position that my dad was in. So yeah, that's uh, and I don't know where I'm going to be the next year or 2 years, but I still want to play. I just don't know what team I'm going to play for or what league I'm going to play for.
Acting. Do you want to continue your acting career, or is that something you enjoyed, or is it just kind of a one-off thing?
Um, I don't want to be a Meryl Streep or anything. I don't want to go and become try to get Oscars or something like that. No, that's not me. Um, it's not just a one-off thing, but I'm not going to do the hustle and bustle of the auditions. Call me for a part. If there's a part for me, call me, I'll do it. But I'm not going to go through the whole hustle and bustle of auditioning for roles and things like that. That's not where my passion is. My passion is Daughters of Legends and executive producing and being the talent and the creator of that show and making a difference in the world is where I see that I'm going to put my time and my effort in.
So, where can people watch or learn more about Daughters of Legends?
Oh, you can go to daughtersoflegends.org. That's the main website, which can take you to dollstv.tv, where you can see the first episode, which my father he guest starred in, which was he was amazing in it. And I told him, I was like, Dad, I'll have this forever. He smiled. So I will have it forever, and I will have his words of encouragement, and motivation to keep me going.
Yeah, it's. I did a little short movie years ago, and my dad played my dad in the movie later in life, and my son was in it. Not we weren't on the screen at the same time, but I do have this short film. Like you said, I've got my father forever. Just
Yes, that's amazing.
because of that.
Is he still alive?
Now he passed away back in 2002 at age of 96. So
Oh wow. Oh, 96. Well, he lived a good life.
yeah, he had a good run.
Yeah, he
And,
did.
and this right here is my father, man. I can't deny who my dad was. I look just like him. So
Oh wow, wow. That's awesome. That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
now you said you have a son and a daughter. What
Hmm.
what is what are their thoughts about all the amazing things that you're trying to do and that you are doing in life? And do they remember Granddaddy?
Yeah, they do. They remember him. But yeah, they're encouraging, So, but yeah, they have their own lives. My son's 22. He's not really worried about me right now.
Yeah, yeah. Mine's 24. I get it. It's like, hey, Dad, how you doing? Can you send some money?
Yeah, right. And then, my daughter, she's 14, and she's just into school and her friends. So they got their own lives.
What do you hope the future will be like for Kim Brown in 10, 20 years?
Well, probably in about 10 to 20 years, I want to definitely have Daughters of Legends passed down to the next generation of Daughters of Legends and Daughters of Sports. Continuing that, because then, of course, these brands and these women, these brands would be infinite. So, yeah, so Daughters of Legends, DOL, DOS, they would be passed down to the next generation to continue changing the lives of people. And then, like I said, probably getting into politics, creating more reality shows or docuseries, producing more television or film. I don't know. We will see, because I don't know what God has in store for me. It's all God's will and where He wants to take me.
Have you thought about autobiography or biopic of your dad? Because he definitely is in the forefront of, like you said, changing the game front for athletes in the 60s.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Definitely having a biopic, a feature film of my dad, for sure. I'm already in talks with a few people about that. Of course, people want to do it, but you always have to have the right team to do that and showcase it the way that you want it for the audience to receive it. So, yeah, definitely that. And then also a documentary on my dad. There needs to be an updated documentary. And yeah.
Now, the difference between Daughters of Legends and Daughters of Sports, I know is Legends including more like film and everything, or are they both kind of sports related?
No, Daughters of Legends is these men have revolutionized the world on and off the field or the stage or the ring. Daughters of Sports, they come from professional athletes and they played sports.
So the daughters played sports or the dads played sports?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
And Daughters of Sports can be found where?
Oh, I haven't launched that one yet.
Okay, it's in development.
One, probably within the next couple of months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Getting close to
And
where.
also, some of the Daughters of Sports actually appeared in the Daughters of Legends show.
Okay.
So you'll see them on the episodes of Daughters of Legends, but no, there's not going to be like a docu-series following the Daughters of Sports around. It's the Daughters of Legends, and the Daughters of Sports will actually make guest appearances on the Daughters of Legends show.
So what brings a question up. Did you grow up with a lot of kids of other sports? No. Okay. Yeah. Just curious. We're getting close to my 30-minute mark here. And what question did I not ask you, or what would you really like to share that we didn't talk about?
The 5 bylaws of Daughters of Legends. The first one is keep God first in everything you do. 2 is honor thy father. 3 is protect the legacy and never bring shame to it. 4 is respect yourself. And 5 is be a catalyst for change. That's what makes a daughter of a legend.
That is phenomenal. And that's a great way to end. Hopefully people will remember that, write them down, rewind, listen to it, write it down, rewind, listen to it.
You just go to the website.
Yeah, go to the website. That'd be a lot easier.
Yeah, daughtersoflegends.org.
Well, Kimberly, thank you so much for your time today. I learned a lot, and I was a big fan of your dad's, even though I was a little smaller when he was in his heyday. But I really thank you for your time.
Oh, so welcome, Chip. Thank you for having me, and you guys be blessed.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
I was super excited to have Kimberly Brown on today. Her dad is a legend. I have a feeling she's going to be a legend because she already is the daughter of a legend. I want to thank Nelco Media, and I want to thank Nelco Comics for this place. You know, without the support of visitmyrtlebeach.com, we wouldn't be here. So if you're looking for a great vacation at the beach, that would be Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Go see my hometown, have some good seafood, walk the beach, look for some shark's teeth. Plan it through visitmyrtlebeach.com. Now, if you happen to have just stumbled on us or someone told you about us or you're a subscriber, look, I am truly grateful that you spend your time with us today. And I hope that you will become a fan, that you'll share this, you'll comment, you'll like it. Help us grow the podcast. Thanks, everyone.
You've been listening to Relatively Famous with Chip White. Please like and subscribe to Relatively Famous with Chip White.